Strasbourg, 1518. A woman decides to take Dance Like Nobody's Watching way too literally and accidentally kicks off one of the weirdest epidemics in history. I'm talking about the dancing plague, where hundreds of people danced uncontrollably for weeks. Yep, they went from casual jigging to full-on, we might die from this. Now, the question is, what the happened here? And will we ever see anything like it again? Let's hope not. First off, Frau Trophäa. She was the one who started off with the dancing. What do we know about her? Not much, honestly. The city in which Frau lived in was called Strasbourg, and it was part of the Holy Roman Empire. It was very German, very Catholic, and very, very stressed. They were dealing with famine, disease, and, well, general medievalness. So when Frau Trophäa wandered into the street one July morning and started dancing like she was in a medieval rave, people were like, cool, some entertainment. But after a couple of days of non-stop dancing, no food, barely any sleep, people stopped clapping. I mean, even the biggest party animal can't keep it up forever. Or can they? Frau Trophäa, she wasn't stopping. Instead of her dance solo winding down, it actually spread. 30 people joined in within a week. At its peak, anywhere from 50 to 400 people were now doing the medieval cha-cha. And trust me, they weren't having a good time. Naturally, the city officials did what any rational government would do. They consulted the best minds of the time. And get this, the physicians decided that the problem was hot blood. Their cure? More dancing. They figured the dancers just needed to sweat it out. It's like saying, if you're itchy, just keep scratching. It'll eventually go away. The city even built stages for the dancers. They hired musicians, and they even brought in professional dancers, which actually sounds like a pretty good time. As you can guess, this actually only encouraged more people to come in and join the dancing. By mid-August, city officials had realized that turning Strasbourg into a dance club wasn't really working. So they turned to plan B, religion. Enter Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancers, epileptics, and apparently people who couldn't stop partying. The idea was that Saint Vitus cursed these people, and the only way to stop the dance-off from hell was a pilgrimage. The dancers were then rounded up and sent on a pilgrimage to a shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus about 30 miles away. They were given holy water, prayers, and some super special holy shoes. Because everyone knows that if anything is going to cure an uncontrollable urge to dance, it's brand new kicks. Just pray it. But here's the kicker. It actually worked. Yep, after the pilgrimage, the dancing started to fizzle out. By early September, the streets of Strasbourg were no longer one giant mosh pit. Coincidence, divine intervention, or maybe they were just too tired to keep going. Either way, the dancing had stopped, but the mystery had just begun. Okay, so what actually caused these people to dance themselves into oblivion? Well, there are a few contenders. First up, ergotism. It's a condition caused by a fungus called ergot that grows on rye bread. It can make you hallucinate, spasm, and apparently bust a move. So, did Strasbourg get hit by a case of bad fungus toast? Some say yes, but others aren't so sure. Mainly because, well, wouldn't they all have just tripped out at home instead of in the streets? The next theory, and possibly the most popular one, would be mass hysteria. In modern times, it's more commonly known as a psychogenic illness, where essentially a bunch of people all freak out together and feed off each other's stresses. With famine, disease, and constant existential dread hanging over them, maybe their brains were like, hey, let's just dance it out forever. And finally, the religious explanation. Some folks thought that Saint Vitus was the one to blame, as he had cursed a bunch of people. Because, as we all know, saints in the Middle Ages loved to punish those with bad torque form. So, will we ever see another event like the Dancing Plague of 1518? Whether it's psychogenic illness, ergot poisoning, or plain old WTF, the Dancing Plague is a reminder that sometimes events happen that we simply cannot explain. Look, let's just hope no one starts moonwalking after watching this video into Times Square and starting the next epidemic. And don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't, and leave your wildest theories in the comments below. Who knows, maybe you hold the key to solving the mystery of the Dancing Plague. Or maybe starting the next one, huh?